Okay, let's get honest, let's get real, let's be truthful. Having twin infants is amazing, but it's also really hard. So today I'm going to share what makes having infant twins so hard so that you know you're not alone in your twin parenting journey. Hey everybody, my name is Joe Rollinson. I'm the founder of dadsguidetotwins.com, where I help you survive and thrive as a father of twins. Okay, so I queried a bunch of twin parents on my Facebook at facebook.com/dadsguidetotwins about what's the worst part of having infant twins. We don't want to sugarcoat this. We want to be clear and transparent so you know what to expect if you're expecting twins, or that you're not going crazy, you're not alone if you're in the middle of raising infant twins right now. Let's see what they have to say. The absolute sleep deprivation. I can't even put into words. I screamed and sobbed at night just from being so tired. Many days I sat at my desk at work and didn't remember driving there. Okay, so Jenny's experience of sleep deprivation is absolutely real. I remember having this as well when we had our infant twins. I was kind of in a zombie state at work, at home, in the middle of the night, taking care of the twins, feeding them. Fortunately, that zombie phase ended after several months and finally getting those twins into a sleep routine. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel if you're going through the sleep deprivation and zombie phase right now. Megan Rose says, sometimes having to choose which one has to cry while you take care of the other, you only have two hands. So this is a very truthful scenario for parents of twins. You have to decide which twin is going to get your attention. This is particularly true when you are by yourself at home or in the middle of the night taking care of the twins, and one of them's going to cry, or maybe both of them are crying, and you have to decide. Now, just because you pick baby A over baby B doesn't mean baby A is your favorite or you love baby A more than baby B. It's just the reality of the situation. Triage who has the bigger need, tackle that problem, and then move on to the second infant. Curtis James offers getting them on the same schedule. The routine is everything, but it takes time for everything to click. It can be overwhelming and scary. Just remember it's all in phases and you'll get through it. Nothing is permanent, including the sleep schedules, feeding times. You're always in control, even when it all feels like chaos during the first few months. As parents, you always have to be in control of the situation. Even though your emotions and the situation may feel like it's out of control, you can do this, you got this. Getting twins in a routine is one of the top priorities that we as twin parents have to have just to survive in those infant months. Getting them in that routine can be a bit of a challenge. And that's one of the struggles of having infant twins. But once you get them in that routine, life gets a little bit easier, day by day, week by week, and month by month. Tom Scott says, when one gets sick, they both get sick, which causes serious sleep deprivation. Having sick infants is no joke. It's kind of torturous because when they're really little, there's really not much you can do to help them overcome their cold or whatever it is that they have wrong at the time. You can't give them a lot of medicine, and they're just kind of miserable. You have to, take the little syringe, a bulb syringe to suck out their noses and to alleviate some congestion. And they're just kind of cranky and miserable all the time. And you just feel so bad for them because there's not much that you can do when they're really little before they can start taking medicines. And of course, because your twins are always together, if one gets sick, the other's going to get sick in short order. That can be one of the difficult things about having infant twins is caring for them when they're sick. Nobody has a cold or nobody's sick forever. Just give it a couple days and they usually work their way through it and they should be fine. Renee Anderson says, carrying two car seats. All right, so a true test of you as a twin parent is, can you carry both car seats and how far you can carry both car seats? And can you carry both car seats at the same time while carrying the diaper bag, while carrying the groceries or some other item? That's where it gets to be quite challenging. When our girls were infants and still in car seats, infant car seats that you would carry, for all but the very shortest of distances, we would put those things in the snap and go stroller to get them from the car to the store or from the car to somebody's house up the driveway. It's only when we came home and we're in the garage and had just a short distance to go that we'd actually skip the stroller altogether. That using a stroller or ideally your partner or some other friend can help you carry both at the same time. Eric MacGyver says, for me as a dad who did the majority of changes, it was a huge blowouts on the breastfeeding pillow. So much cleaning. Okay, diaper blowouts are just the worst. And particularly when your babies are small and the diapers don't quite fit right, you seem to have lots of those blowouts where they just sneak out the poo sneaks out the side and it's just quite difficult. So one would be to try to make sure that you have the right size diaper for your twins. And as they continue to grow, that the diapers are fitted to them appropriately. That'll help reduce some of those blowouts. But if prevention doesn't work, you're going to have to go back to cleanups. And that, unfortunately, is just the way it is. In the warmer months, when your twins are probably just in onesies and a diaper, that's it, the blowouts sneak out really easy. There's not even any clothes to stop the mess from spreading. That's where it gets really bad. So, but if they're wearing pants or if they're wearing pajamas or something, some of that madness is contained. Of course, it's still messy to clean up, but it is more manageable. Jennifer says, the amount of stuff you have to bring everywhere and the fact that if you are by yourself, you can't just carry your baby and do what you need to do. You have to lug around 2 carriers. Then you have to figure out which stroller to take. Side by side doesn't fit through doors half the time, but the tandem is so long, it's hard to get through the doors by yourself. I always felt like a sideshow everywhere we went. So we talked about the challenges of carrying both twins by yourself. Some of the other logistics around getting out of the house with twins can be a little bit overwhelming. The twin strollers, while helpful, can also be kind of unmanageable or difficult to navigate in public spaces. Getting through doorways, through crowds, can be a bit of a challenge. So managing all that chaos with the baby gear, the diaper bags, and the twins, let alone if you have any other kids, can be quite problematic. Jordan Johnson says, them being on opposite sleep schedules, that was really hard. So when your twins are out of sync, it throws your entire day into chaos. Do everything you possibly can to get your twins synced up. So one thing that works great is when it's the nighttime and it's time for feedings. When one of the twins wakes up for feeding, you wake up the other twin. And then they get synced up with feeding, and they get synced up with going back to sleep. And it starts to build that routine where they are aligned and not in opposite schedule land. However, they may not always be synced up, and that's when the stuff can get kind of hard, to be honest. So try your best to realign those schedules by syncing up feeding times, when you put them down to sleep, when you put them down to naps, and it should work itself out over time. Amber says, I felt like I missed most of the happy, playful, cuddly time with my babies. There are 4 possible scenarios when everyone is awake. Number 1, both twins are crying. Number 2, baby A is happy, baby B is crying. Number 3, baby B is happy and A is crying. Or 4, they are both happy. So in the first situation where somebody's crying or both are crying, you have to deal with the crying baby. And in the rare 4th case when they're both happy, you have to split your attention between the 2 happy babies. So Amber is correct. You're always splitting your attention between twin A or twin B. It seems very rare that you can have your full attention on both of them simultaneously. So that's hard. So if you're able to divide up some of your responsibilities with your partner, for example, with my wife and I, we would split up with feeding time. I would take one baby and she would take another baby. And that gives you a little extra one-on-one time with that twin. So you can get to know them better, you can bond with them, you can share that time with them, and help build that relationship with them. But the truth is, when they're infants, and they both are high-need children at the time, you're going to have to split your attention and split your efforts, and that's just part of the process. As they get older, you'll have more time where they're both not in a crying state, and you can do things together and pay attention to each individually as well. So whether it's lack of sleep, whether it's excessive poopy diapers, whether it's the inability to give individual attention to each because you're so overwhelmed with caring for both of them at the same time, there are tons of reasons why infant twins can be overwhelming and can be difficult. The good news is that phase passes and things start to get easier gradually over time. Soon you'll be out of that infant phase and on to the toddler phase, which has its own set of challenges. How about you? Are your twins already here? Go ahead and leave a comment below with what's been the most challenging part of raising infant twins. If you are still expecting your twins or in the middle of raising infant twins, I recommend you pick up my book, Dad's Guide to Raising Twins, How to Thrive as a Father of Twins, that will help you along your twin parenting journey. You can learn more about this book at raisingtwinsbook.com. While you're here, go and check out some of these other videos for practical tips and tricks on preparing for and raising your twins. If this video was helpful to you, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and please share it with another parent you know that is expecting or raising twins. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.